Hey everybody, welcome to Cara's Cucina, YouTube's first and only Emmy-nominated cooking show. I'm Cara Di Falco. Today I'm going to be showing you a really basic recipe. We are going to be making an omelet. So an omelet is a really easy thing to make, and a lot of people think it's difficult, but it's actually pretty simple. Very basic, and then of course you can take this technique and just use whatever ingredients you like. So some of the key things that you do need are just a smaller saute pan. Omelets are not something that we're going to be making 6 at a time. They really are a one dish thing that you have to make. And then whatever filling you want. So actually have some pancetta, have a little bit of onion, some spinach, and some goat cheese. So that's kind of a basic one that we'll be using those things to start off. So I have my pan heating up over medium heat. And once I feel that it starts to get warm, we're going to add in the pancetta and render out some of the fat from that. We're going to use the oil, that fat, to help make our omelet. I can feel some nice heat coming from our pan, so we're going to add in our pancetta. And that's pancetta that a friend makes for us, but you can certainly buy pancetta at the store. You can actually even buy diced pancetta at the store and save yourself a step. And then of course, if you're a vegetarian and you don't want to use meat, you can skip this part altogether and just start with a little bit of olive oil in your pan instead. But we're gonna let these start to cook and get some of that fat out of them. We can see some parts of our pancetta starting to brown already. We can see the oil in the bottom of the pan, and that's probably gonna be enough for our onion. So again, because this is gonna just be a single serving, it's really only about 1/8 a cup of an onion, so not a ton of onion, but we're gonna get that in there, let that start to cook down. And what I love about omelets, or just eggs in general in the morning, is they're a really great opportunity to actually get your veggies in. So, whatever combination you want to come up with, whatever it is that you like, but it's a really easy way to get in some root vegetables. Again, we're gonna be using some spinach, so you kind of don't notice it, don't feel it, but you're able to get those healthy veggies in. So again, we're gonna just let this keep going for another 2 to 3 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna crack my eggs. So classic or traditional New Jersey diner, at least, we'll do a 3-egg omelet. You can use however many eggs you like. Our onion looks pretty good, just about soft enough, so I'm gonna add in the spinach. Spinach is one of those things that cooks down really small, so you feel like you're starting with a lot and you're gonna wind up with very little. And we should be eating about 2 cups of greens per day. So I would say go with at least 2 good handfuls of spinach into your pan, and you'll see, right? So this is already, taking up the whole pan, and in about 2 minutes, it's gonna look like there's nothing in there. Spinach is wilted down. You can see it's significantly smaller than it was, but that's our filling for our omelet. So we're actually gonna pull this out of here. I'm gonna turn this off just so I can talk for a little bit without burning my pan. And this was always the part that I never quite understood about making omelets, was that you have to cook your filling first and then take it out of the pan so you have room to cook your eggs. So we'll just set that aside. We're gonna scramble our eggs and we're gonna reheat the pan with some olive oil in it. You wanna make sure you have enough oil in your pan that your eggs aren't gonna stick, because we're basically gonna make like an egg pancake almost. So we're just gonna kind of let them fill the base of the pan and cook a little bit. We'll move it around a bit with a spatula, I'll show you that. So we put our pan back over medium-low heat. Now I know my pan pretty well, and while it is a nonstick pan, we've had it for quite some time and we use it for pretty much everything, so this particular one needs a fair amount of oil. But if you have a newer nonstick pan, you probably won't need quite so much, but we're just gonna let that get nice and hot. Coat the bottom and some of these sides. Eggs are scrambled. And we can see I have my spatula here ready to go, which is what we're gonna use to move this around. So we're gonna put our eggs in, get all that out. You can actually season this with a little salt and pepper. We see I'm really not touching it. I haven't moved anything just yet, but the edges are gonna start to cook. So then with the spatula, what you can do is kind of just gently push it in, let the uncooked egg fill in the empty spot. If you have to tilt the pan a little bit, you can do that. And we're just gonna keep going around like that. Until all of our egg is cooked. Okay, so at this point we can see kind of, even if I turn this, just a little bit of the egg is still running, so we'll just kind of get that to an edge, let it cook. I'm gonna just keep going around the edge with the spatula, so make sure nothing's sticking. Now if you want to add cheese, this would be the point where you would add cheese. And you would just, I'm using a little bit of goat cheese here for this example. You just want to put a little bit down the center. And goat cheese is not a super melty cheese, but if you were using a melty cheese, you would just kind of keep it over the heat until the cheese starts to melt a little bit. At this point, you can actually turn the heat off. We've got our filling. We're gonna put our filling right back in down the center once again. And now we're just gonna use our spatula and fold the edges over. Okay, so we have one side. Sometimes it's easier to roll it. And I'm gonna try to do this here so you guys can see. Our edge a little bit there. But there you go. You guys can enjoy this with a slice of multigrain toast or some roasted potatoes. We got that recipe for you as well at caradifalco.com. You can find this at caradifalco.com as well. You can find me at Cara Di Falco, Facebook and Instagram, always sharing all kinds of great foodie stuff there for you, as well as events. We're doing some live cooking classes now, and you can purchase Cucina merchandise at caradifalco.com these days as well. That is it for this week. I will see you guys next time. Bon appetit.